Hello and welcome to Trummicker Nursery and Community Primary School's Slideshow for our new parents who are thinking of joining us in September 2021. I can't really believe we're talking about September 2021 when we've only just brought all of our new receptions in for this year. Now we'll go through a few of the fundamentals to do with our school through the next slides. I'm sorry it's a bit dry, but hopefully you've also had the opportunity to watch the video of me giving a tour around our wonderful school to give you an actual flavour for it. As I say, they are quite dry, these slides, and we'll try and keep them as light-hearted as we possibly can with different members of staff doing different parts of this slideshow. But if at any point you need to contact us and find out more, then please do ring us on 01524 851 043, or you can contact the office at office@trummicker.lancs.sch.uk. Now, as you can see from this first slide, Trummicker is very proud of all its achievements over the years, and we have managed to achieve so many awards within the last 8 or 9 years, ranging from sports awards to learning awards for our early years department, to healthy schools awards, to pride awards for members of staff, to the local education awards, winning each year in different categories, and to the Pearson Teaching Awards, for which Mrs. Hamer was a silver winner, as was I. So we do an awful lot in this school, and it is being recognised locally and nationally, and everybody knows that we are here, as it quite rightly says in the top left hand corner, to provide a values-based education that is creating, nourishing and flourishing. So what is the basis for our school? Well, it's clearly there right in front of you that we are here to provide an inspiring education to help the children achieve their dreams. And that motto was brought about by governors and staff working together with the children and saying, what is it that we should be providing in our school? Now, governors and staff said, well, we want a good education, but we want it to be inspiring so that those children that join us at Trummicker are aspiring to be the best in whatever field they want to be in when they leave school at 17, 18, 19. The children said we were there to help them achieve their dreams, and they just wanted us to help them get through all of their learning and get as much confidence and develop their skills in all areas so that they could achieve their true dreams for their future life. Now, Ofsted came and visited us a number of years ago and recognised that Trummicker is a good school, and there is clear drive and there is a clear vision, and we want the best for our children. And we were inspected again earlier this year, and that good status was upheld. They did say that we needed to look at parts of our curriculum, which we did straight away, and everything is working towards all of the children being able to achieve as much as possible. And this is shown in our statistics, where year on year our results get better and better and stronger and stronger. And although we didn't have results this year, we are convinced that they would have continued to improve dramatically this year as well. So Trummicker is indeed a good school, but it is all about the children. We want them to be engaged and to be part of their own learning and their own development. Okay, so let's look at who is who at Trummicker Primary School. So my name is Paul Slater. I'm the executive head teacher of the school, and I've been involved with Trummicker since 2010 and then officially took over in 2012. I now work part-time for the school as I have another job, which is CEO for a multi-academy trust of 2 secondary schools and a special school, all of which are within Cumbria. So we then have Mrs. Hamer, who is now our head of school, and you'll see our pictures at the top there on the right-hand side. Mrs. Hamer as head of school is here 5 days a week, and she organises the running of the school, and she keeps on top of all of the curriculum and the data and keeps me informed of areas that we need to continue to develop, as well as looking at other interests that we might want to take as a school. And she works very closely alongside the staff to ensure that the provision in the school is top notch. Supporting her is our assistant head, Mrs. Burrow, who is also our early years leader and one of the reception teachers. The other reception teacher is Mrs. Bowler, and they are in the second line of the photographs there on the right hand side. They run the reception classes, and Mrs. Burrow also watches over nursery as well, but they are ably supported by a number of teaching assistants. We try and put as many teaching assistants as we possibly can into early years so that when your child starts, they have adult contact on a regular basis. At the moment, we take 45 children in a year group, and they are split into two classes, one of 22, one of 23, and there are 4 teaching assistants. So there are 6 adults for 45 children, so it's a really good ratio, and it helps the children with their learning and helps them to make rapid progress when they join us. We also have a school business manager, and that's Mrs. Collin, also on the right hand side there. She looks after all the finances and the day-to-day management of the school, making sure that we are covered for health and safety, and if there are any HR issues or finance issues, then she will bring them to my attention and we'll work together to solve anything that we need to solve. She's also the one that sends out bills and will chase you for invoices to make sure that everything is paid for within school. We then have 2 administrators who work in the front office, and these are your primary contacts. There's Mrs. Lane on the left hand side there and Mrs. Box to the right of her, and they will be the face-to-face contact when you come into the school office. So you will get to know them really well. They're also there on the end of a phone, and they may well ring you at times or send you messages through our management information system to make sure that you have all the information that you need. If at any point you need to contact somebody, then just give them a ring and I'm sure they'll be able to help you. We also have our special educational needs coordinator, who is Mrs. Morby, and she is on the far left hand side there at the bottom. Mrs. Morby works with all of our families who have children with additional educational needs, and she will be in touch with anybody at the beginning of their time within the school and throughout their time within the school if they need an educational healthcare plan or they just need a bit of support with their learning in order to achieve the best that they possibly can. And we have Mrs. Kendall, who is our Tigers leader. She is also our school mentor. So as our school mentor, she will be working with families who just need a bit of support in any way, shape or form. And that could be that your child's finding school difficult and just need a bit of one-to-one time with Mrs. Kendall. Or it might be that you need support in completing forms for other needs that you have, and she will be there to help you do that. Her role as the Tigers leader, Tigers is our after school club and breakfast club, and we're pleased that Mrs. Kendall as a day-to-day member of staff also leads on that and leads a strong team to provide after school and before school care from 8 in the morning until 6 at night on a regular basis. Of course, during COVID at the moment, we haven't got Tigers up and running just yet, but we are hoping to get it up and running in the next couple of weeks, albeit slightly restricted hours. So here you are looking at schools, and the best advice I can give is be Mr. Nosy. The only way you're going to know whether you like the school is to try and visit it. Now, it's very difficult, and all the schools are doing different things. We're doing online shows, online virtual tours. Some are allowing certain numbers into the school. It is going to be very hard for you all this time, and we all recognise that, and we want to work with you. But the one thing we definitely can offer is for you to talk to somebody. So if you're interested in a school, I would strongly recommend go and visit if possible, but give them a ring and talk to them, email them if need be, and find out the information that you want to find out so that you can make an informed choice as to whether they are going to be one of your top 3 choices. It is really important to choose the school that is right for your child. Don't just follow your friends. Don't just follow your child's best friend. Find the school that is going to suit your child the most and you feel they will fit into and be happy and comfortable, and you will be able to be a part of the school as well, and go for that school. But try and visit if you possibly can. So what is happening at Trumica? Well, I've already mentioned that we've got an Ofsted good rating, and we've got the plethora of awards that have been awarded to our teachers and teaching assistants and all sorts of people. We are committed to doing the best for your child, and children are really at the heart of everything that we do in school, and I will always make decisions based on the best needs for the children. So we do move staff around, we do move teachers and teaching assistants around as need be, because the children will always come first. But it isn't just about that academia. Yes, we want to make sure that they are getting the best English, maths and science lessons and doing the best reading and writing that they can do and learning their phonics and learning their times tables. They are really important skills. But we also want them to be exploring into the realms of art and music and history and geography and DT, and also gaining confidence to do things they might not have ever done before, like fell walking. We take all of our juniors fell walking, like staying over on a residential and doing canoeing and kayaking and sailing and raft building and aerial slides, all sorts of things like that. We like to take them on trips to the Science Museum. We take them to Liverpool, to Manchester. We take Year 6 to London. We want them to be rounded individuals. So it's not just about the education, the academic side. It is also about everything else, sports included. We want them to be active. We want them to be busy. We want them to thoroughly enjoy being in school. Because if children enjoy being in school, they will learn better. And what's going to happen in the future? Well, at the moment with COVID, nobody really knows. But this school has grown from 26 applying to over 100 for the last 3 years. It is not changing. More and more people want to choose us. And although our intake number is 45, we regularly get appeals to get children in above that number. And we are still in talks with the local authority to increase our number to 60, but we would need more building work. We're also talking to the local authority about being able to provide an offer for 2-year-old children. But again, at the current climate, there is no chance of getting building work. But we will still keep focusing on that. We will still keep trumpeting our name and all that we provide, so that we can eventually provide enough space for all the children that want to come here and have that 2-year-old provision. Now, as regards academisation of schools, Trumica has already said that it is interested in joining a multi-academy trust, be it the one that I'm the CEO of or another one in the future. They can see that things are changing within education and they want to be the masters of their own destiny. And the governors have asked me as the executive head and Mrs. Hamer as the head of school to keep our eye open into the future and see if there is a multi-academy trust that we can eventually join. If we do join a multi-academy trust, of course, one of the things that we will insist on is we don't change the name of Trumica Primary School, and we also don't change the uniform or the uniqueness that makes Trumica what it is. It will have to be a multi-academy trust that will work with us to help us continue to improve, but not take us over and make us a corporate image of themselves. So we'll see where it all leads us to, but it isn't a definite just yet, but it is certainly on our radar. So how do you get your child in? Well, the admissions criteria are there on the screen for you, so I'm not going to read through them. I'll give you a pause in a moment so you can have a proper look. They are very clear, and as I've already said, we always get more people applying to the school than we can actually take. But do bear in mind that there is a clear listing of who gets priority, and we have had children who don't live very far away from us and we are their nearest school who sadly haven't been able to get in and have been allocated schools elsewhere within Morecambe and even in Lancaster. We hope that we can take as many as we can, but you will have to just apply and decide which order you're going to put the 3 schools in. And then once you have decided, you then need to go online. The best way is to go and look for lancashire.gov.uk and type in the search box admissions. That will lead you to the page where you can then register your interest. As I've said, you can choose up to 3 schools. Please do not just put one. If you put one and you aren't successful in getting into that one, then you will be put at the bottom of the list and you will be given whatever else is left. I would always recommend you at least put 2, if possible, put all 3 down. Now you need to do that by the 15th of January 2021, or again, your application will be considered as late and it will be left at the bottom of the pile until everybody else has been allocated. You will be notified the day after me. It's sometime in April 2021. So we get a list one day, you will be informed by letter the following day, and then we will start the process of contacting you and letting you know when you can come into school and how we'll organise the transition. So what is the early years foundation stage? Well, it actually starts from the day your child is born and runs up until the age of 5. So that also includes nursery and reception. The learning is then based into 7 different aspects, 3 of which are core: the personal, social and emotional development, physical development, communication and language. Now with PSED, the personal, social, emotional development, it is about your child and how they are developing in that personality and with one another and developing for themselves, how they are doing socially, interacting with other people and with their peers, and also their emotional development and how they are managing themselves. The physical development aspect isn't just PE, it's not just sport, it's also about those fine motor skills of being able to use a pencil or a drawing implement or using a pair of scissors, and also threading and being able to do shoelaces and do their own buttons. It's everything to do with physicality. And then there's the communication and language element, and that's about their speech. It's about how they are forming that speech and how they are enunciating words and also communicating through their facial expressions, through their hand gestures, and actually how they just interact with one another. These are all underpinned by the other 4 aspects: mathematics, which speaks for itself, literacy, which is what we would have called English, so it's the reading and writing and the phonics side of things, understanding the world, which is the history and geography and science elements, and then the expressive arts and design, where you're bringing drama and music, art and DT into it. And what does that early years foundation stage look like at Trumica for those children who are starting in reception? Well, our main focus is to help the children become confident, happy, and know that they are valued within the school and within their family unit and within society. We want them to establish those school routines to make sure that they are familiar with them, they know what's happening, they know what's going on, and they are confident to follow all the routines that are in place and follow them with an understanding of why we do them. We want the children to be immersed in books, and this comes through phonics. We want the children to be phonologically aware. So there will be an opportunity for you to attend a workshop, probably online, talking about how we teach phonics. Please do tune into it, because it will help your child to become a more competent reader. We want them to be playing inside and out, whatever the weather, if at all possible, and make sure that that play is child-centred and it is focused on clear learning objectives. We also want them to have experiences outside of school, so we do take them to the library, we do take them down to the beach, we do take them to our allotment, and there are so many experiences that we try to provide, not just in reception but throughout the rest of the school. And the key to all of this, with your child making successful progress in every single element and in every single aspect of being in school, is we want them to have fun. We want them to enjoy being in school, because children who enjoy school will learn better. So our nursery normally would provide wraparound care, but at the moment, again, due to the COVID restrictions, we're not able to do that. But the nursery is still available even now if you want to start getting your child used to being in school. And it opens at 8:30 in the morning and it runs until 3:30. We can offer the 15-hour or the 30-hour free course sessions, and the unit is run by a teacher, Mrs. Smith, who is there every day to make sure that children are settled and has a great team working around us. Now, if you want to get the 15 hours, you can then top that up. We charge £4 per hour or part thereof, just to make sure that we are covering our own costs, but we do try and keep those costs down as much as we can. And you can see from the pictures there all the sorts of activities that they get involved in. Once COVID is sorted in some way, shape or form, we will then open our wraparound care, which is provided through the Tigers that I mentioned earlier, and you'll be able to access that between 8 and 5 so that you can fit work around all of those sorts of hours. And again, it will be a paid for service. Now I'll hand you over to our Tigers leader, Mrs. Kendall, who will explain a bit more about Tigers and Tiger Cubs.
Hi, my name's Mrs. Kendall. I'm your breakfast and after school club manager. Just like to tell you a little bit about our club. So we first opened our doors 8 years ago with approximately 6 children on our register, and today we welcome over 50 children through our doors every single day. And I think that's a really true reflection on just how popular we are with our families and with our children. I think the nice thing about Tigers, obviously, is that our setting is within the school premises, so children aren't having to leave the building at the end of the day and commute to another site elsewhere. All the staff that work within Tigers also have roles within school, so your child will become very familiar quite quickly over a short period of time. When your child starts school, obviously they're going to be making new friendships, both within the classroom and on the playground. And I think the after school club is also a great hub for nurturing these friendships in a fun and friendly environment. We are open right the way through to year 6, and we don't separate the Key Stage 1 to Key Stage 2. All the children interact together really well, and I think this really helps to develop the vocabulary and the social skills of the younger children by working alongside the older ones. It is actually quite heartwarming to watch, so don't be surprised if you come to collect your child one day and there's a year 6 child reading a story to your reception child, or possibly your child is building something out of construction with the help of a year 4. They all kind of roll up the sleeves and get involved together. It's just really, really nice. Obviously at the moment we are operating on a reduced service due to COVID, and it's our intention that when things can change, it will change straight away. So we're hoping to get back to normal as soon as we possibly can. But just to give you an idea of the things that we do in After School Club, first of all, if your child's booked in for Tigers, your class teacher or teaching assistant will bring your children up to the Tigers room, the den, and once they are registered, the children will stay with us until collection. Once all the children have been received safely, we sit down and have a snack together, and there's a variety of different choices. So we have things like fish finger buns, hot dogs on buns, pizza and garlic bread, tomato pasta with cheese. We have cereal bars, rice cakes. I think the favourite at the moment is chocolate. And we also have what's called Dine Around the World, which we do every half term. And that's where we try different dishes from other countries. So we look at things like Mexican food, Spanish, Italian, Indian, Chinese, a lot of the adults' favourites, but the kids really do enjoy tasting all these different dishes. And we do worksheets and a little bit of topic work to coincide with the dishes that they're trying. So it does consolidate the learning a little bit on those countries. If the weather is great, we are outside as much as possible to make your little tigers tired. They've lots of energy, haven't they, at the end of the day? So obviously weather dependent, we're out as much as possible, but we also have lots and lots of activities on the go. We have craft arts, baking, cooking, we do den building, kite making, we do Trumica's Got Talent. So if we've got any magicians or comedians or singers in the family, let me know, because we'll have them on our Trumica's Got Talent. We do lots of things. If you have a Twitter account, we do have a page, it's Trumica Tigers. You can have a scroll through some of our pictures to see all the different things that we've been doing in the past. We also have a trip to Blackpool Illuminations, which falls for October half-term break. That's been quite popular, so hopefully that'll be back next year. We do lots of good stuff, and the planning for the activities really is around what your children want. So we involve them as much as possible. So at the start of every half term, we'll ask the children for their input on what they'd like to do, and then we'll use that to make our planning for the half term. So basically, it's your child who's deciding what goes on in the after school club. So if you're wanting to register your child with Tigers, we'll need to receive an admissions form from you, and it is one admission form per child. Once we've received the information, we will add your children to the electronic register, and then you will be able to book your child into Tigers, either breakfast or after school club, as often as you like. So we charge £2.70 per hour for breakfast and for after school club, and there is a small reduction for each sibling after the first child as well. We do also run a it's Tiger Cubs, so it's for our younger tigers really. So if you've got any preschool children and you would like them to experience a little bit of the Trumica vibe, please feel more than welcome to join us once we're up and running again. I will put information on our Twitter page and on our Tigers newsletter when we are back up and running with that. But it's an opportunity to catch up with things that have gone on, letting your child have a little bit of freedom to be messy and creative and just explore fun things within a safe environment. So we do that once a week, and obviously when we get a date for restarting that, I'll let everybody know. Other than that, I think I've covered most things, other than there's a multitude of reasons why you might want to actually register your child at Tigers, or why we feel that you should register them anyway. So obviously there are work commitments for a lot of families, but also there's the unexpected things as well. So obviously we know what traffic can be like at the end of the day. If you are running a little bit late, you might feel the need that you need your child to go into Tigers for half an hour. It gives you the peace of mind, then you're not having to worry at the wheel. You can phone the office and we can make sure that the message gets to your child's teacher, and the teacher will bring the child up to the Tigers room where they will stay with us until collected. It might also be that you've just had a heck of a busy day and you just want maybe half an hour to yourself before coming to collect your child, and that's absolutely fine. We don't question your motives. We just make sure that your child's safe until they're picked up. Okay, so it's been lovely to talk to you a little bit about our after school club. Obviously, when we're up and running and you can come in and see us, you'll see for yourself just what a great place it really is. We're all very passionate about the after school club, and we hope you and your children will be too. It's been lovely again to talk, and look forward to seeing you and your children very, very soon. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Sarah. I'm now going to hand you over to Mrs. Hamer, who's going to talk to you about the work that we do within our community with our parents and with other community members.
We are very proud to be classed as a community school. Our links with local services are invaluable. We have a fantastic PTA group here at Trumica, but we are always happy to adopt new members. Not only do we help with essential fundraising for the school, they also represent our parent voice. If you would like to join our team, then email myself, Mrs. Hamer, at head@trumica.lancs.sch.uk. Positive behaviour. We encourage children to become self-aware of their own behaviour and aim to develop a pattern of behaviour in the children which will contribute to their learning and the happy, purposeful atmosphere of the school. We are fair but firm and use positive reinforcement in the form of house points, certificates and Star of the Week.
So, free school meals and the pupil premium. There's a bit of confusion over the free school meals because all children who are in reception year 1 and year 2 at the moment get a free school meal. They are entitled to that. However, some of you may be claiming some form of benefit, or you may be eligible to claim what's called the pupil premium. Now, we really need you to do that, and sometimes it can be a bit embarrassing. You're not sure whether you want to claim for it or not, but what it means is the school will get an amount of money, around £1,000 now, that comes into school and supports your child. So it's really worth applying for. And it means that then when we do trips or when we do residentials, we can actually take some of the cost of that out of our pupil premium pot and then make it cheaper for parents who have claimed the pupil premium. It also means that when your child then moves into the juniors, they automatically carry on with a free school meal, where everybody else will then start paying. So it's really good to get the forms filled in straight away. Even if you're not sure, fill the form in, send it off, and you never know, you might be entitled to that pupil premium. If you're not sure about anything or you're confused about what I've just said, then again, ring the school office on 01524 851 043 and speak to Mrs. Lane. She knows all about the pupil premium and she can help you in any way that she can. And as I've already said, we provide free school meals for reception year 1 and year 2. And then the juniors, for some of them it is free still and the others then will pay. But the school meals are great. It is a range of menu items over a 3-week rolling programme. It is all shared with you so that you can see what the children can order and they can choose on each day from 3 menu options. Everything is done as healthily as possible. And it also has a balance of all the necessary parts to a good meal available to all of the children. So we have a really good uptake of school meals at school. And if your child is interested in carrying on with that, once they become a junior, then we would really recommend it.
At the moment, we can't actually have parent helpers in school, but eventually I'll be on the lookout for some parent helpers who can help us listen to children read in school.
Now, as it says at the beginning of this slide, we do want to push the boundaries of education. I'm always up for listening to new ideas, as is Mrs. Hamer. We want to try new things out. We want to push the boundaries of education as far as they possibly can go and have visitors in once COVID is over. Get out visiting places, get out into the local community, show Ofsted, show the DFE, show everybody how wonderful we are in the way that we approach learning and encourage the children to do their best right here, right now. And remember, it is always about the children. Do have a look at our website, trumica.lancs.sch.uk. There are so many photographs, so many videos on there. You cannot imagine all the sorts of things that we get involved with as a school. Please head over there or go to our YouTube channel just by searching Trumica Primary, or you can find us on Facebook, again, Trumica Primary. And we have a very active Twitter feed, which again, at Trumica Primary. We are across all of those social media platforms and we like to share as much as we can with parents and with relatives each and every day. So, you've got 12 months, thereabouts, before your child starts school. And some parents start to get really worried about getting their child ready and they're thinking about ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, getting them ready to read, all those sorts of things. But to be honest with you, the best thing you can be doing is what is on that slide right this moment. Talk as much as you can to your child. There is plenty of research out there saying that we talk less to children now than we ever have done, and therefore their vocabulary, their wordage is so much smaller than it used to be. Those parents who talk to their children on a regular basis and use different language, different words, different ways of describing things and using bigger words and more exploratory words, they will have a better wordage when they start school and they will make more progress quicker. So please talk to your child as much as possible. Don't just leave them with the iPad or let them watch television all the time. Talk to them over the dinner table, talk to them when they're having their breakfast, talk to them when you're out and about. Point things out, ask them questions, but talk. Talking is really important and you will see the benefits daily with your child because they will be coming out with better and better language. Work on that toilet training. The best time is during a holiday when you have got the time and the patience to do it. But get them ready for school, get them toilet trained so that they're not coming in and soiling themselves or wetting themselves on a regular basis. We really could do with children being out of nappies by the time that they start school, because it just adds another pressure onto that child. So try and get that toilet training. Think about it now. Think when you're going to do it. Plan it in. It might not work straight away. We all understand that. We're parents ourselves, but start to work on it now. Children will inevitably still have accidents. That's fine, we can cope with the accidents. What we don't want for the child's own sake is regular accidents that they're having and the embarrassment that might go with that for them. So work on it now as much as you possibly can. Get involved in social groups. Get out, go and visit different social groups if you possibly can. Get them to the park, get them talking to other children, get them learning from other children. Get them into that good sleep pattern now. If you don't get that good sleep pattern now, it will be so much harder when they start school. So decide on what time they're going to go to bed. Get them into that routine of getting ready for bed, settling down in bed, having a story in bed, turning the light off, going to sleep. And it might take a little while to get used to that and get that routine embedded. But again, it will pay off for you in the long run, that when they are older, they are used to that pattern. And when you say it is bedtime, they are more used to going and settling down and knowing that it's story time and it's a time to relax. I've already mentioned about having less screen time. Get out, do a lot more seeing and talking about. But if you are watching something, talk to them about that as well. And try and watch shows that have got an English voice as much as possible, because again, it means that they will be able to listen to and recognise English language much better than Americanisms for a start. Show them their name, write it for them, print it for them. Suggest that they start copying it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be the most ridiculous looking markings at first. It doesn't matter. We want them to start recognising the shape of their name so that when they see it, when they come into school, they can recognise it. Do some simple number counting. Do some simple letter recognition, but don't go wholeheartedly into, I'm going to teach my child read. We want them to recognise those letters, recognise that putting those letters together can make different sounds, recognising those numbers and being able to count forwards and backwards only to a small amount so that they know what numbers are about and that they are connected with counting things. So, count buttons, count their raisins if you're putting those into their breakfast in the morning, or count the cornflakes even, but count regularly. And when you're out and about, point out letters and numbers and see if they can recognise them and say to you, oh, there's a number 1, I can see it, we talked about that. That will be really good. Get them used to taking their own coat off and practice doing their buttons up on different things. Some buttons are fiddly and we accept that. But again, we want them to be as independent as they possibly can be because it will help their future learning. Shoes, I would avoid laces if possible. Go for the Velcro, but get them used to putting on left foot and right feet at the right time. Even putting markings on the inside of the shoes, put a felt tip marker so that they know when those shoes go together, the markings go together, they've got them the right way round. That's something that we will do with them in school. So start it now if you can. Do some shared reading. Reading is really important. Doesn't matter really what you read to a certain level, but read with them with the newspaper as long as it's not a horrific story in there, but read with them with a book, read the back of a cereal packet, read the ingredients for a recipe, but read, talk about, and then get them to tell you a story by looking at a picture and saying what they can see is happening. They're not really reading the words, and that is great because they are telling you a story from what they can see. That all adds to their reading ability once we get started in school. Think about how else you can stimulate learning at home, counting as you go up the stairs and down the stairs, talking about walking around the house and what they can see, talking about the food that they're eating, and then extend that to out and about. What can you see and what can you feel and how do you feel and how does it feel when you touch something? Talk to them about everything you possibly can. And then during the summer term, we're hoping to have our sessions for being school ready back in place, COVID forgotten, and moving forward so that we are working with you to get everything ready for your child to join us in September. So as I said at the beginning, it is important for you to try and visit schools if you possibly can. And this year it is really becoming quite difficult to arrange that. Schools have had to complete very clear risk assessments about visitors not coming onto site, but we know that parents will want to at least see the school if at all possible. So we've written a separate risk assessment, and we're hoping that it will enable parents to arrange a specific time by calling the office on 01524 851 043 or emailing the office on office@trumica.lancs.sch.uk, both of which are on your screen there. And once you've made that appointment, you will then turn up at the gates, which are now closed on a daily basis, so nobody can wander in on our site. We will come and meet you. We'll ask you to wear masks as you come round the site, and we'll take you on a tour round the outside of the building. The classroom doors are kept open at the moment, so we've got good ventilation going through. So you will be able to bob your head in and have a look inside the classrooms, but you will not be able to actually go inside them because each of those classrooms is a separate bubble just in case COVID comes and strikes us here at the school. So please do try and arrange an appointment if at all possible. Of course, if you can't make that appointment and you can't come into school because of work or whatever reason, there is the video that I've done of a tour around school, which I hope will give you a flavour of what Trumica is all about. So we're coming to the end of this slideshow. If you do have any other questions, then please do contact us. Even if you don't end up coming to our school, we want to give you as much support as we possibly can to get the right school for your child. So you can ring about any questions that you might have and we will try and help you. The number and the email is on the screen again at the moment, as is the website address. And there was a link to the Twitter feed, but if you go and look for Trumica Primary on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube, you will be able to find out more about us. And do ask other parents that you know whose children are here. Ask them for their honest opinion. I always tell parents, give an honest opinion. So you should get a flavour for our school from many, many different sources. And finally, let me just reiterate the main things for our school. We believe in each and every individual child. We want them to be the best that they can be. And all children are different, all are unique, all are individual. And their needs are vastly different from one child to another. But we just want the best for each and every child. We want to give them that space to learn and enjoy their learning. So when they come out of school, don't just keep asking them, what have you done today? Give them a bit of space. Give them a bit of time. And eventually they will tell you about their day. My son would always tell me about his day when he was in the bath just before he went to bed. So give them that space and give them that space to learn and enjoy learning. Enjoy learning alongside them. Don't keep thinking they've got to get to the next hurdle, they've got to get to the next book, they've got to get to the next times table. It's about going at their pace when they are ready. We want to encourage them to enjoy each and every step of their learning. And finally, we believe at Trumica, your child has a very bright future. In my years of working here, Trumica has transformed what it has to offer to all families and all children. And we do indeed believe in that bright future. We want the children to succeed in whatever their aim is in life. We want them to get out there and get a good job, get a satisfying job, enjoy their job in the future, and become really strong, confident citizens for the 21st century. I hope this slideshow has been of use to you and it's given you what you need to know about our school. Do check out the video tour and do get in touch with the school if you want to come and physically have a look around the outside of the school. We hope to meet you over the coming weeks, and don't forget that deadline date, 15th of January 2021. Make sure your application is in and you have chosen at least 2, preferably 3 different schools. All the best with your applications, and we hope to see you very, very soon.